That you have tried to explain your thoughts and ideas about your favorite book, but externally how does it look? You haven't explained this thing. You have avoided its external things. Externally how does it look? It's very simple to speak about it. It is what word we use to explain it. It is no. Very simply you can speak about five things. You have to note down what are the things that we can what words that we can keep in our mind while speaking the things. One thing note down please. Color, size, shape, figure and use. These things are very common things that are observed by our eyes. Firstly, whenever we open our eyes, then eyes try to get the information in the form of color, size, shape, figure and use. These are the buttons we can say, or we can say switches of our mind that helps in collecting, in restoring the information in our mind. Firstly, whenever we visit any place, when the place is unknown, when the thing is unknown, when the person is unknown, then our eyes tries to collect the information in the form of these things. So now you can speak easily. Yes, speak up please. It is. So it is.
It have three colors. It has three colors, and it
You can use it is and it has. When you are
it has
explaining.
three colors, and it has about 200 pages, and it divided into four parts. In first we write our rough work, and secondly we write our writing section. Then
Externally, you can speak that it is my book. It is my book. Okay. Its color is. Its color is. Right. It's multicolored book. Yes, is that right? And it is rectangular in shape. Yes. And its figure is.
It covers four modules, we can say.
Yes. And its use is.
It is basically used for practice.
Commonly you are to keep our mind we keep in our mind whenever we visit any place, about this chair, about this watch, about the marker, about around us, whatsoever we have, our mind is collecting the information by these things.
Sir, what is the difference between shape and figure?
Shape means that is what do you say?
Rectangle, triangle, circle,
Yes, like
whatever.
that.
And what is figure?
Figure is that what it content. But we
Figurative. Figurative means more looking more enchanting, and something is more attractive when it gets finishing, sort of finishing in the form of smoothing. Simply we can say figurative. So these things externally help us to judge the things, to observe the information. These five things. five. These five words you have to keep in your mind forever, wherever you go. For example, you are going on the road. Your mind is getting the information. Your mind is identifying the things, and after some time, when you skipped out that thing from your mind, then someone met to you that asked from you, please recollect the thing. How do you recollect the thing? How do you recollect the thing?
By remembering its color, size, and shape.
Just by
Remembering the color, size, and the shape.
yes, these things help in speaking about that thing, that unknown thing. Somewhere, if you lost the thing and you have to found the thing, you have to report anywhere. How do you report? How do we report about it?
Same by color
By
signs.
explaining its outer appearance.
Yes, externalities by the outwardnesses. How does the thing look to us? How does the thing seem to us? We try to explain according to that. So usually you can define your watch, please. Yes.
So basically, it's a black color, and its size is big as another watches. So it its dial is very beautiful, and it's gives me proper time as I want.
Good. Yes, you explain your T-shirt, please.
My t-shirt is of orange color and have 2XL size, and it's like, and it is fascinating to others.
Yes, explain your favorite thing, please.
My favorite thing is my bag because it is given by my parents, so I have a lot of attachment with my bag. Also, I contain a lot of things in it, as well as my book and also my study material.
Anything you can speak? Is there any problem in speaking?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It is the fear of our mind that कि कहीं मैं गलती ना करूँगा, है ना? It is the great fear of our mind. So we are here
So
scholar.
one thing
We are
there is
not.
also that the next person will judge us while we will speak.
So we are to
This
keep.
thing also make us nervous.
It makes us nervous, and we feel hesitate while speaking.
Yes.
We are to speak as much as we can, frankly, bluntly, friendly, wherever we are going, we are to speak about that without caring, because we are the scholar here, we are just the learner here, not the professional ones. So what kind of fear we have in our mind? There should not be the fear. Yes, you explain, please.
About what?
About your turban.
My turban is of wine color. I have bought it from Amritsar, and
Yes.
it is of full well, and it is very famous cloth in turban, and it is of 7.5 meter.
Any ideas and words you have collected easily? So these things help you. More ideas if you want to collect, then you are to think in the form of what? When, where, how, and why. These 5 clicks about the things, when we speak about the things, this word can be thought only when the thing is non-living. If the thing is in living position, then we cannot use this word, and we can use the word that is who. Who is the exclusive word that is used to explain about the person. Actually, it's the common problem of the scholars that they are not aware about the concept of English grammar. We have just crammed in the schools, colleges, universities that how do you define noun, please? Could you define noun?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Anything we can see is now.
Anything whatsoever we see,
Is a noun.
that is the noun. Around us we have a lot of things. In one word, name is noun. Name is noun. So it's a very common thing whether that is in the form of sound or whether that is in the form of light. Light is noun. Sound is noun. Names. All names are noun. Fundamentally, our human body is noun because it is made by 5 elements, and in English basically there are 2 kinds of noun. Actually it is divided in 5 kinds of noun. You will go through the grammatical books, you will know that there are 5 kinds of noun. In Hindi you have read 3 kinds of noun. In Punjabi, how many? 3?
Should I just say
There are
that?
3?
Yes, sir.
But in English, basically there are 2 kinds of noun. One is that external noun. Externally, our human body express, and internally,
Emotions and feelings.
our emotions, feelings, like sister, brother, and its abstract noun is. What's the abstract of sister? Sisterhood. And what's the abstract of brother? Brotherhood. Sportsman.
Sportsmanship.
And student. Studentship. Basically there are 2 kinds of noun in English. One is that material noun. Second one is abstract noun. For the learners and speakers, do not go through every kind of noun that may make us puzzle, that may confuse us while speaking, reading, writing and listening. Materially, our human body is material, and we are 100% present in our mind that we can speak about our personality. In pronoun, we study first pronoun. What is pronoun?
The words used in place of noun are called pronouns.
The words used
In place of noun.
in place of noun are called
Pronoun.
pronoun. First kind of pronoun that we study, that is personal pronoun. Means a word that shows our personality. That is personal pronoun. It means, how do we define this pronoun? It is not only about a person. All aged persons, whether that is children, whether that is male, female, old aged, young ones, for everyone, those who are related to the person, that are defined through this pronoun. So we have to keep this thing in our mind openly and clearly. We have to be frank about it. If we are confined about that only a person who is mature and we can explain about that person, it is not confined up to that. Every aged person, whether he or she, whether child or man, man to women, bottom to top, root to fruit, and it is explained through personal pronoun. And if we are to explain about any person, how do we explain about any person?
By his name.
What are the drivers of the sentences that we use to speak that helps us speaking a lot of ideas? What are the drivers of the the sentence that help our mind in speaking about that particular personality.
His name, his age,
Quality.
his
Our
profession,
relation with that person.
where does he put up
Relationship.
his qualities, his achievements.
First person I am speaking here now. Very simple words these are. These are very simple words, but when time and again we repeat the same word, this word helps us in speaking a lot of ideas and thoughts. Naturally, I. This I was used by Abraham Lincoln, who was the first president of America. He used to write his poems through I. Only I. I am a doctor of philosophy. I am doctor of language. I explained about this personality, Abraham Lincoln, who has written a lot of poems. His anthology you will read Leaves of Grass, with the name of Leaves of Grass. In that poem, time and again he used the word I. I is not only a letter, it is a word as well. I is not only a letter, it is as well a word. Whenever we think I, then it means not our mind is getting informations in the form of, not only in the form of meaning, not only in the form of meaning, but it directs our other senses to speak, to listen, to read, to write, to do something internal. It messages. I means simply our eyes. And when we close the eyes, then internal eyes start working, internal eyes start researching inside. So it's the depends upon the winking of the eyes. A lot of ideas, naturally we start to speak. If we keep our eyes open, it remained open, what does it mean? We are breathlessness. Our breathlessness it shows. Getting idea? Perhaps you haven't read this thing anywhere. Sir, have you read this thing anywhere?
What, sir?
That I am explaining here.
Sir, I did
No,
not get
sir.
what you were
What I am
saying.
telling you are not getting. Very simply,
No, I could not understand what he was saying, like blinking of eyes. I could not get the point.
According to sir, sir want to explain according to speech.
by closing and opening the eyes as much as you can
Thinking
practice
power.
eyes practice it needs when you will go to meet to the doctor who is ophthalmologist, eye specialist, he will tell you the exercise for eyes,
For
right?
concentration.
Right, for concentration. Moving of the eyes as much as you can. These eyes give the information to the mind. When these eyes report in the form of information to the mind, then it automatically recreates energy in the form of words, that in the form of listenings.
So basically, you are saying eyes are the main source of information.
The information externally and internally as well. These are not the eyes that help us about the external things only, but the internal eyes help us in repeating, in speaking about the thoughts and ideas that our mind recollect as per the observation of the psychologists and philosophers.
Like visualization, you are talking.
Visualization.
Like we do meditation and
Yeah.
Meditation will tell us each and everything in
so you was
clear
not
way.
getting that point.
No, I got it. He is talking about
Yeah.
visualization.
Yeah. It was
Practitioner
the-
knows this thing. If someone is practitioner and meditator, daily
I do
meditation.
meditation, yeah, sometimes.
As much as you do meditation, you will know the speaking of the all internal organs of your body. You will be the then you will be the doctor of your body. It is as per the naturopathy.
Body
and
knows how to heal itself.
Physiotherapist says that 90% you are the doctor of your body yourself. You can treat yourself. You know what are the
Exactly.
what are the symptoms of your body, symptoms of your illnesses, weaknesses. Everyone knows it is with everyone commonly. But how does he treat with her internal organs? It depends on him or her. Basically, we all are the form of spirit or soul. It is said in all the religions as well.
Yes.
And very truly it is said that when we will feel the nature around us, then we can go in the deep of these things. Very scientifically, all holy scripture and religions express these things practically. When we will feel this thing, when we will think about these things. Leave it anyhow. I don't like to make you the philosopher and psychologist. Simply I am telling you that how you can make your mind able to speak commonly and generally wherever you are, you will become fearless and friendly and familiar with the situations around you whatsoever you have. It's my aim, it's my objective, not to make you from the society. Means I don't want to make you the unsocial. You are to be social, but while being social, you are to be the most social for your soul, for your spirit. It is the objective of every learner and scholar. If we think I, then a lot of ideas automatically we start speaking. If we think upon I, 100% concentration upon I, then it starts speaking. When their interviews are conducted, one is there, who is I? I plays the role of a listener or speaker.
I'll be the speaker of this.
Speaker. And you, and he or she. About whom we talk. These are the three characters, drivers of the speaking as well, we can say. Drivers. Keep in your mind forever with the driver of your body, driver of your tongue, driver of your tongue. For the tongue twisting, you can repeat any poem, school children's poem, you can repeat for the tongue twisting. That will help you a lot in speaking. That will make you easy, rhythmic, and writing. Yes, ma'am, please say.
So we have done some tongue twisters in our last drum class.
Okay. So that helps a lot. Any poem that you have performed?
Sir, it was not a poem, there were some words.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather, and another one was pink lorry,
Yellow lorry.
She sells seashells from the seashore.
and one another was battery bota butter, and
butter,
battery
butter,
bitter, so
So
battery bota butter,
to make it butter, to make it bitter
butter,
butter.
butter, butter.
Twinkle, 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 little star. Now you wonder, a lot of energy and oxygen we intake in our lungs when we start speaking. Before that, if we practice this thing, for example, if you are to appear in an interview, you are going for an interview in the embassy. How will you be friendly and familiar with the interviewer? How will you become familiar with the interviewer?
I introduce you.
Yes. There, pranayama will help you a lot while speaking the words, or while getting a lot of energy in your lungs, while getting a lot of oxygen in your lungs. You can speak as long as you can. Every speaker, singer, writer, listener, reader, why and how he can spend his time, how he can extend his time in speaking, in reading, in singing, in learning. It depends upon the capacity of holding the air inside the lungs. Our lungs are the air bags. Since how long we can hold the air, hold the oxygen in our lungs? It depends upon us. If you are physically fit and fine, then you can do daily this pranayama, meditation, dhyan. These things helps a lot. These things make us able to get the information easily, speedily, accurately, correctly. Accurate listener, correct listener. If you are the accurate listener, 100% listener, if you are the energy of the speaker, then you can become a good speaker. It is said, but fundamentally and practically you are to practice it with the nature. When you are with the natural environment, you are to enjoy with the nature. I, you and he. Or I, you and she. He and she. Where do we use he and she?
For she person.
When we speak about the invisible thing, when we speak about the unknown person, unknown things, a person who is not in front of our eyes, a person who is away from eyes, we try to speak about them. He or she. Then interviewing started between each other. Interview means not only for the job purpose, every kind of discussion is interview. You are going on the road, you are going in the market for purchasing and buying anything from the person who is selling us. That is also a kind of interview. A patient goes to hospital for getting treatment. That is also a kind of interview. Everything, everywhere, whatsoever we do in the form of exchanging the energy, that is the form of interview. So we are trying to be maximum in practice in speaking. While interacting with the professionals, while interacting with the persons, laymen, gentlemen, common men, VIPs, wherever we go. So it should be our common habit. There should not be the special arrangements for doing these things. This should be common. While going on the road, while becoming a layman, common man, gentleman, simple man, and we can be experienced and experimentalist of these things. What's the difference between experiment and experience? How we can differentiate these two words?
We get experience after so many experiments.
Experiments are the practice and experience that we have got through the situations we have been, the time when we were doing these experiments.
Recordings. What is experiment or experience? Downloading. Reserving.
Experiment.
Restoring. This was revised by Swami Vivekananda. This is the most powerful word. When we use the R sound initially in any letter, in any word, then we speak it loudly. Remember, record, resign, reform, report, restore. But when we use this R sound in the middle of the word, then we use it, we speak it slightly. When we speak this R sound in the end of the word, then it remains silent. Near, fear, dear. Why I am emphasizing upon this re word? Because this re gives us up recordings, downloadings, restorings, reformations. Whenever you are fighting any kind of competition, then this re does matter. Swami Vivekananda expressed this thing to the world as return to the Vedas. He told them, return to the Vedas. Similarly, William Wordsworth thought that return to the nature. There was a great revolution in Europe in 1789. What happened at that time? There was no peace of mind and tranquility of heart. Then